Okay, y'all. So first things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. I can't find my pencil. Where did the pencil go that fast? Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. What did y'all think? That y'all like the episode? Now, when Ridge was talking about not, spending the rest of his life without Brooke and all this other stuff, I was like, isn't Carter one of them people that be marrying folks? Can't he marry folks? But yeah, then when he came in the office, I was like, here you go, here you go. Ridge want to get married right away, y'all. He want to get married now. I said, oh, they finna have a fit. Thomas already talking about some Brooke manipulated him. I said, dude, this what you got out of this? Out of all this is what you got out of this. Really? Hold on, y'all. I said at what point, and Taylor was trying to tell him, that's not what happened. This was your father's decision. When she first started out, when he came there, and he wanted to know what was going on. She was basically telling him not to be mad at Ridge, and I was like, Taylor, now you ain't time for all that. What's it called? Being a bigger person and all this other stuff. But yeah, on today's new episode, let's start with Will and Luna. So I'm thinking with Will and Luna, I'm thinking, okay, he get it. Cause yesterday they ended with him finding out she's still alive. He fell on the bed and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, he put two and two together. No, he's standing up there talking about some maybe he got the wrong he said maybe he got the wrong place, maybe he got the wrong apartment or whatever. I said, Will ain't too bright. I said, look, Will ain't too bright now. I'm like, Will. So then I said, I think she went over there and got that mask on purpose. Cause look, it was peeking out or whatever. She ran over there. She wanted him to know that it was her. She wanted him to know that or whatever. He's like, what's that behind your bag? Is that a weapon or whatever? She was like, no, it's not a weapon. So she finally showed him or whatever. That's when he put two and two together. That's when he put two and two together. And I was like, Will, come on now, Will. But yeah, okay. Will was shocked to see Luna. And he was just saying how she's supposed to be in jail and stuff like that. And no, first he was saying like, how did this happen? And she was like, her grandmama Lee, she helped save her, and she thinks that she's a good person and all this other stuff. How are you gonna prove that you're a good person when you already don't sit up here and switch the drinks and slept with this man? How are you gonna prove you're a good person? You already made the doing stupid stuff, crazy stuff. And not only that, what did she say? Like he told her he do the same stuff they do. You know how they be in this situation with a crazy person or something like that, and then they tell they playing, then they tell they playing. So he's like, I'm going to the cops or whatever. But he stood up there talking to her for way too long. But yeah, he like, I'm going to the cops or whatever. And I think he said it twice. I think he said it when they first started talking, then he said it later or whatever before she revealed that mask. But yeah, Ivy and Electra just talking about Will, and Electra just talks about her first time. She glad it was with Will. It was basically flawless. It was perfect or whatever, and how she, even though he wasn't her first, even though she wasn't his first, at least he hasn't been with anybody since meeting her. I said, shoot. And now I'm wondering if he finna get ready to keep this a secret, that he know that Luna alive. And I said, hopefully he go tell, but I don't know. I think I did read something about Luna being alive is going to cause problems with everybody. I think they said the lady that plays Steffi is back filming, so she about to come back soon, y'all. What else? Let's see. Carter tells Daphne that Reg figuring out his love life, ends up revealing that basically Reg confided in him or whatever, and she know that he finna end the engagement with Taylor and stuff like that. Reg, no, we ain't at Reg now. What they say? Thomas starts about to see Taylor, and he's saying that she was upset, and that's when she starts talking about so she don't want him to be upset with Reg. And I was like, no, he needs to be. And he still want to upset with Reg, talking about some I knew it. She done manipulated my dad, manipulated dad or whatever, and talking about somehow she used to do the same thing when they were little. Now I don't know how that went back in the day, but what I've seen since watching, he keep making the same decision. It don't matter that she toxic. It don't matter that she be running around kissing Bill and stuff like that, or she'll do something and be like, oh, I didn't know, or whatever she say. It don't matter. You can't stop him. You can't make him choose you. That's just what it boils down to. That's just what it boils down to or whatever. But yeah, he started blaming Brooke. I said, here you go, y'all. Here you go. I said, here you go. They finna make him crazy again. Y'all, next week promo gonna be, or Friday's promo, if they show it this time. Friday's promo gonna be Thomas trying to target Brooke, especially if they get married. Especially if they finna get married right now. I said, look. I was like, why wait? Go on, get married. Go on. Then, okay, what else? They picked up where they left off, where Ridge was proposing and Brooke accepted his proposal or whatever. And she had a ring on her finger or whatever. And he was looking over there. He seen the ring on the desk, so he grabbed the ring. Well, it was a bunch of rings, I think. He chose one or whatever. She hurry up, took that ring off her finger so he could put that ring on her. Look, hurry up, took that ring off. She said, "You ain't got to tell me twice." Yeah. So he put the ring on her finger and stuff like that. They were just hugging, kissing, and everything. And he was talking about how he almost lost her. And they was talking about, I think she asked him what his favorite memory of, what was his favorite memory of them or whatever. I said, "Don't y'all dare." I said, "Don't y'all do it. Don't y'all play that flashback." Cause then he said, "You mean other than, when she almost lost her life in Naples and stuff like that?" I said, "Here they go, y'all. They finna play it." But I don't think they played it this time, y'all. I said, "Now we don't seen it all week long. We don't need to see her almost die no more." We don't need to see that girl almost die no more. She ain't died. She ain't died no more than Liam died when he had that fake tumor. Yes, don't y'all play no flashbacks no more. What the word going on around here? But yeah, they ain't do it this time, y'all. What else? We'll come back to them. Electra said her night with Will was special because he wasn't with anyone else since her. Luna said Will kept her fighting for her life. She just a psychopath. He just standing up there having a conversation. I would have been out of there. If you know she a murderer, she's supposed to be dead all that. You ain't got to have no conversation with her. Get up out of there. Especially when you told her you was going to the police. But yeah, so she started just having a, like, it's a normal day or something. Girl, please. I said, Lee need to come. Somebody need to come to say. I don't know if she gonna do nothing to him or not. The way she obsessed with him, I wouldn't put it past her. But yeah, so she just acting like it's any other. She acting like it's any other day, a normal day or something. She over here talking about somehow, my grandma Lee believed in me, and I'm gonna prove to everybody, that I'm changed. I'm not that same person. Meanwhile, you done did what you did. You done did what you did, and not just that. She was like, "Will, you kept me fighting for my life." I mean, when she woke up, the first thing she did say, well, one of the first things I think she did say, she mentioned Will or whatever, or she was thinking about Will. I don't know. I think she whispered it. If I'm not mistaken, she whispered it because they showed her. What time is it? 2:00. Because they showed, I think Sheila and Lee was over there talking and stuff like that. And I think she said Will or something like that. So maybe so. But yeah, then she just talking to him and talking about Will and all this other stuff. And he just standing out there listening to her and stuff. And I'm like, Will, get up out of there while you can. Get up out of there. But yeah, what else? Let's see. I already said how Taylor told Thomas she don't want him to be mad at Rich. She ends up telling him how there's not going to be a wedding, and he wanted to know what's going on. He wanted to know who ended things. He wanted to know who ended things. That's when she revealed that it was Rich, and he jumped up to me and said, "I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was because of her. She been manipulating him since I was a kid and all this other stuff, and she's still doing the same thing." And she was like, "Don't blame Brooke or whatever, even though I have my own feelings about her, stuff like that. She's not to blame. Ridge made this choice," which is true. He definitely did. But at the same time, wasn't she just saying how Ridge needs to not let Brooke manipulate him the other day? She was saying the same thing. She definitely was. But yeah, she just crying and upset stuff. But she ain't upset enough for me. She ain't, for him to, now it'll be one thing if, okay, he just did this one time. If he just did this 2 times. How many times this man done did this? Look, it's one time too many. One doggone time too many. But yeah, she just so calm. I say she gonna be the one. We think it's Thomas, y'all. It's gonna be Taylor. Taylor gonna be the end on there or something. I said, she too calm. Way too calm. I said, nah. Wait, I take that back. Because somebody posted, they said allegedly, because we don't know if it's true or not, allegedly, Taylor and Brooke supposed to be going at it this week. They supposed to get into it. That's what they said. So I take that back. Well, I say she way too calm with Ridge. She way too calm with Ridge. I say that part. But yeah, I said she find out if they actually get married on tomorrow's episode. I know she finna have a fit. I know they finna exchange some words. But yeah, what else? Ridge ends up telling Brooke how he wants to come home. He don't want to spend another moment without her or whatever. I gotta say though, at least like he knew what he wanted. He finally did something about it, and he willing to marry her right now. I gotta say that part. At least he could do around here. I said at least you could do. Done did all. This is your fault. It's always been his fault, but it's definitely his fault this time because you jumped up. You had to come up, move in into your daddy's house with you and stuff like that. Knowing doggone well you was trying to upset, what's her name, Brooke. Upset your Logan. That's what you was trying to do. You know it. He knew it. Over here lying and stuff. But what else? Let's see. Electra and Ivy were just talking about Luna and how Electra's happy that Luna's gone. Ivy was saying, Electra would never have to deal with Luna again. I think Electra said something about not have to worry about a 2-time murderer trying to take her boyfriend or go after her boyfriend. Oh, she don't have him. She don't have them, girl. She don't have them. But yeah, Thomas asked what happened. He said he knew Rich ended things because of Brooke, and that's when they had the whole situation. What else? Will said he going to the cops. Luna said she gonna prove that she's a good person, especially to Will. What else? Rich ends up saying how he wants to get married right now, so he told Carter and stuff. And I was like, I knew it. I knew it once he killed the way he was talking. I was like, can't Carter? Because Carter don't perform all their marriages, ain't it? Not all their marriages, but close enough. Close enough. But what else? Let's see. So I forgot at what point Will was like, maybe I think she was like, you quite the detective or something like that. And he was like, he was looking for somebody, but maybe he has the wrong apartment or whatever. So then she noticed that the mask is peeking out, but I still think she did that on purpose. She noticed that the mask is peeking out a little bit, so she ran over there or whatever, and she hid something behind her back. And he's like, what is that? What did you hide behind your back? And he's like, do you have a weapon? And she was like, no, of course not. So he was like, what is it? And so she pulled out the mask. He was like, what are you? That's the moment. That's it right there. When she pulled out the mask, he was like, what are you doing with a electric mask? I said, this man ain't too bright. That's the moment. I was trying to figure out what point, because I was like, this man ain't too bright. Ain't no way. So she pulled out the mask, and he was like, what are you, stalking her again or whatever? What are you doing with Electra's mask? And I was like, this man. I was like, Will. I said, Will, come on now. I said, Will, he just, the way he was looking at stuff, I was like, look. Then they talking about, so he knew. Well, I said, could have fooled me. Could have fooled me. I said, why do you think she got the mask? I said, why do you think she got the mask? So then he just standing there. She just standing there. So she puts the mask up close to her face or whatever, like she put it on. And he had a little flashback where he thought it was Electra. He realized that it was her. And we said, God, no. We said, God, no. Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. I said, then she just standing up there. No, she crazy. She just standing up there just to smell and this stuff. And I was like, now she told her grandma Sheila, what she said, of course he remembers or whatever. He's lying. He remembers or whatever. He just stood up here having a whole fit in front of you, girl. He said, look, he started to back it up towards the bed. I said, you about to be on that bed again? He's like, what he said? God, no. Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. I said, yep, you did it. You did it, buddy. And I said, don't you sit up here and let her manipulate you into sleep with her for real, for real. I mean, they did sleep together for real. But actually get pregnant. Don't you be foolish enough, because they be doing that stuff all the doggone time on these shows. I said, don't you be foolish enough to sit up here and sleep with her again. And then next thing you know, she actually ends up pregnant. Because from what we've seen thus far, she ain't pregnant. Excuse me. From what we seen thus far, she is not pregnant or whatever. I said, the way he just stood up there to me, I said, what are you doing with electric mask? I said, he gonna fall for it. He gonna fall for it. But that's it, y'all. That's all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, this is have a great rest of the day.